Hi everybody! Happy Sunday afternoon. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'm sorry we're a few minutes late, but Alyssa had to come all the way out to my house, which is about an hour. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she drove out here and there was traffic, so we're just now getting started. But thank you for stopping by today. We're excited to share with you guys today, and we just hope that something we say will bless somebody out there that may be going through their own cancer journey or their own chemo treatment. Alyssa has gotten a lot of questions over the last few months about what did you use? Did it help? How did it support your body? And so we just hope to share a few things that might help one of you out there. And just in case you did not know, we are not doctors. So we are not offering treatment advice, nothing like that. So we are just sharing with you some oils and some products and some lifestyle changes that Alyssa used to support her body as she went through this journey and to build up her immunity and all those kinds of things. So never fear, we are not giving you medical advice. You wouldn't want to take medical advice from us anyway. So I'm Candace, if you are new to my page, and I blog at mercyisnew.com, and I live here in East Tennessee in Morristown with my husband and my 3 kids who are 15, 14, and 12, and I have been using Young Living essential oils for almost 2 years, and the more I use them, the better I feel, and the longer and more consistently I use them, the better my emotional stability is well. And so there's so many ways to use essential oils, and we're going to get to Alyssa's story in just a minute. But in case you don't know what essential oils are, and you have not been on my page for long, God made these really amazing oils for us, and they're right outside our doors. If we would spend more time in nature, we probably wouldn't need these pretty little bottles quite so much. But as you probably know, our culture doesn't spend very much time outdoors anymore. But if we would all just walk outside and stay there all day, we could reap the benefits of all the awesome trees and flowers and plants that God created for us. So God created these aromatic essences in the plants, and I just learned something new the other day. These molecules that we call essential oils, God created to support the plant itself. So God gave these molecules properties to heal and protect and support the plant itself. And so it makes sense that when we take that same oil and we take that same part of that plant, that it helps support our systems too. So God made it to do that for the plant, and it also helps us too. So I think that's really cool that some of the oils that are my favorites, the things they do for me are the same things they do for the plants, like when the plant is in danger or when the plant is, that kind of thing. So I thought that was a really cool way to look at it. So Alyssa and I have both been on this kind of wellness journey. My journey started because I was looking for emotional wellness, and Alyssa has had some of those same struggles, but she really started digging in to a toxin-free lifestyle when she went through a cancer battle, her battle with cancer, her chemo, and then post-chemo, because now she's cancer-free. Yay! So anyway, I am going to let Alyssa introduce herself, and then we're going to get into some of the specifics about how she used these oils.
Hi everyone, I came in from Knoxville, as Candace mentioned, and I live there with my husband and my 2 kiddos, ages 7 and 2, and we also have a dog who's an old man now. His name is Bailey.
Oh, I love Bailey.
Yeah. He's grumpy though.
Nowadays. Grumpy old man.
Yeah, yes, totally. So almost exactly 1 year ago, I was diagnosed with B-cell lymphoma. And it started when we had moved to Knoxville from Columbia, South Carolina, almost immediately. It was 3 months. We had been here for 3 months and moved into our new house. And the first night that we slept in our house, my heart started to beat really, really fast. It was around 180 beats per minute, something like that. And this had happened before, and it just kind of calms down after a while. But it was probably going for 4 or 5 hours and just wouldn't go back to normal. So that Saturday morning, we went to the ER, and they gave me some medicine to get my heart back in rhythm, and did an x-ray, and they found a tumor on the x-ray. I almost immediately called my cousin, who is an oncologist in Knoxville, and chatted with him, and because of him, I was able to get the tests done, the biopsy, within like 5-6 days. So it all happened really fast, which was traumatic, but a blessing, since we didn't have to wait very long for test results and things. Let's see. So my treatment was 6 rounds of inpatient chemotherapy. So I'd go to the hospital for 5 days and then come home for 2 weeks, and I did that 6 different times.
Really, really intense chemo. So intense that she had to be admitted to the hospital every time.
Yeah. Yes, and it was they were 24-hour it was 24 hours for 5 days, which most people don't have, and I don't really understand all of the nitty-gritty
of it. Yeah.
of why it was that way, but anyway. So at this point in my little oily journey, I had had my starter kit for about a year, and I liked using it for various reasons. One, to keep my kiddos healthy. My daughter was only a few months old at the time, so I wanted to keep her from getting sick. But I wasn't using them as consistently as I am now, and obsessively, I should say. When I went into the hospital each time, except for the first time, because I didn't know I was going to be there for so long, I took my diffuser and my oils with me, and it was really beneficial for me, but also the nurses really liked it because my room smelled the best.
I love that.
And
she would have nurses coming in and asking about her diffuser, and
yeah, which at the time I wasn't obviously thinking much about the business, but now, yeah. Anyway, but it was during that time, during chemotherapy, that I became convinced of the power of essential oils, and that they actually did what they are written about they did what people said they were going to do, basically. Part of my treatment involved taking a super high dose of steroids, and they made me feel terrible. I felt very amped up all the time, and I couldn't sleep even though I was tired. So it was just, I had some restless leg syndrome going on. And then, so I take them for 5 days, and then after the 5 days, I would go through withdrawal, which was even worse. My emotions were all over the place, and I just felt sorry for my husband, especially.
Poor Ben.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know if
think he's watching.
If you're here, we're so sorry, Ben.
Yeah, it was, you hear about roid rage, and there was definitely that going on. So, yeah, it was just emotionally out of control. And the doctor gave me an anti-anxiety med to take, which I did. But I wasn't really comfortable with it because it can be addictive, and I took it with caution, But about halfway through the treatment, so 2-3 months in, I started to diffuse a lot more religiously at home and in the hospital. And I started to notice that I wasn't reaching for the anti-anxiety medications as much, which blew me away.
So awesome.
Yeah. So the oils helped me to handle the crazy mood swings that were happening from the withdrawal. I didn't feel perfect. It was still terrible. It was still really hard, but they helped, and because I was calmer, I was able to handle the physical side effects from the chemotherapy better. So Did I leave anything out?
So how many rounds of chemo did you do?
6.
6. And each time you were in the hospital for 5 days.
Yes.
All right. And so what were some of the oils that you used to kind of support your body while you were at the hospital?
I can't remember what I used at the hospital versus what I used at home, but I remember what I used kind of during that whole time period. I, of course, used Stress Away a lot. And for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it kind of smells vanilla, lime. Mm-hmm. It's not an overwhelming scent. It's just, it's very pleasant.
A lot of people use that like as a perfume, and it's just kind of calming, and so that's a great one.
So that one was to support my emotions, and to ease the anxiety. Thieves was another one that I used to support my immunity. Oh, and I do want to add this one thing. I did ask my doctor, my oncologist, about oils.
I remember that. Yeah.
He said that he was completely fine with it, with me diffusing. He didn't want me putting them on my skin. I think because with chemo, your skin becomes more sensitive. Mm-hmm. But I did it anyway, just kind of with caution, Yeah. I diluted a lot and whatnot. And I never had any problems with irritation at all. So back to Thieves. I would diffuse the Thieves and also put it on my feet, diluted. And again, I used these more in the second half. I think I just became... At first I was afraid that the oils were going to interfere with the effects of the chemo. Yeah. But then I just became more comfortable with it and started using them more and more as I went along. The next one, I, of course, used lavender because that's good for everything, to support the nervous system. And I think there are immune benefits too to lavender. It seems to kind of do everything.
Lavender is so many things.
Yeah. So I diffused that. I prefer lavender. I don't like it alone. I don't like the smell of it alone.
I always
like
add something.
Yeah. I like it mixed with peppermint, lemon, that's what I do. Frankincense, which I'll get to.
Orange.
Let's see, we should do. Yeah, orange.
You should know that Alyssa and I share the same favorite oil. Well, one of the many favorites. Yeah. We both love orange oil.
Yeah, it is so great.
I call it my happy oil.
Yeah. And my mother-in-law and father-in-law recently really got on board with orange.
How can you not love orange? Come on.
Yeah. And this is random, maybe not. I don't know if it's significant or not. But when I was doing chemo and after, I was really craving mandarin oranges all
That's funny.
the time.
Well, all that vitamin C, I mean, it had to have been your body. It was good for you.
Yeah. So, anyway, just a little fun fact.
Yeah.
So I mentioned frankincense. Let's talk about that one next. I diffused that one when I was in treatment, mixed with something, probably lavender. Or peppermint, and that one is also super versatile. It's great for anxiety. I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit, but now I use it. I put a drop under my tongue almost every day to support the nervous system, and it is incredibly powerful and effective for dealing with anxiety. I have a long history with anxiety and panic attacks, which is a story for another day. But when I'm feeling really, really anxious and I put it under my tongue, it works so fast.
Yep.
Which shocks me.
I know. It's crazy. I always tell people, they brought it to the baby Jesus. So it's awesome. However, my personal theory is they brought it for Mary because they knew she was going to be recovering, and so I just think frankincense is one of the most useful and best oils if you struggle with any kind of emotional instability. That's what I do. The same thing Alyssa does every day. I put it under my tongue or I press it to the roof of my mouth, and frankincense is a godsend. So, I'm glad you used that one while you were at the hospital.
I want to stick a little thing in here. I want to talk about nausea for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Which I will get to when I talk about peppermint. But just in general, the nausea is intense. And I did use the anti-nausea medicines. I'm not sitting here saying that I didn't use any of the medicines that they gave me for this, that, or the other thing. But what was interesting is that none of these aromas were offensive to me. Nothing made me nauseous.
Huh. Wow.
So.
That's great.
Okay, so Tranquil Roll-On. This one is kind of near and dear to my heart because a stranger gave it to me. Denise.
Makes me
I
want to
don't
cry.
know if you're
Are you on here,
watching.
Denise?
But I wanted to try the Tranquil right before I was going into the hospital. For, I don't know, I think it was November, December, so that was probably my third round. And I wasn't going to get it in time without paying $20 to ship it here. So I asked in the sisterhood, the Oily Sisterhood, the Facebook group, if anyone had it. And Denise, who is in our upline, said that she had it, and she just gifted it to me, which meant so much to me because I had never met her. I'd never had a conversation with her. We weren't even Facebook friends at the time. She just offered. So anyway,
So sweet.
this is it was really, really sweet, and it just spoke to the generosity and the caring nature of all the people that are in this business, I think. So I use this one to support sleep. I put it on a lot when I was trying to nap, and definitely every night before I went to sleep. And I put it on my temples and my neck, and it has Roman chamomile in it, and I think that's what really helped me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Joy oil. Okay, you gave me some joy oil, and then I won a bottle from Dr.
Oh
Edie.
yeah, I forgot about that.
And I'm pretty sure. Well, yeah, I did have it. I remember having it in the hospital. I would just open it up and just kind of leave it up by my bed and just kind of smell it. And it was a great mood lifter. And then at some point I started putting it on my heart every day. And then I don't know, it just made me feel a little bit better. Okay, so Tummy Jies. This one was one that I used. Again, you gave me this one. Diluted in a roller bottle, and you put orange in it to make it smell better because it's not my favorite. I don't think anyone loves it or even likes it.
Raise your hand. Do you like Dijies? The smell of it?
Or
Anybody?
Tummy
Anybody?
Jies.
I didn't think so.
Yeah. It's not awesome.
But it works, y'all.
It does work, and even though it smelled bad, it didn't make me feel nauseous. That's what the crazy thing. It wasn't
awesome.
offensive to me.
Yeah.
So again, I was using the anti-nausea meds, but my stomach was still upset.
Yeah.
And it helped to settle my stomach even more than the anti-nausea meds did, which blew me away. So I was using that probably 3 times a day. Just to
so
keep
she
it
had it in
my
a roller
system.
bottle, and you just rolled it on your stomach, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Peppermints, while talking about nausea, is another really, really great one, and I diffused that one, and I happen to know of another family who is diffusing that for their daughter who is going through chemo, and she says it's helping her, which is awesome. But I also rubbed that one on my belly, and this one is a hot oil, and some people it can bother your skin. Yeah, it doesn't bother me, but so start with it diluted, basically, and all will be okay.
Yeah. Sorry, we've got a friend in here. There's a fly who keeps.
Must be the oil it's
Yeah.
attracted to or something. I don't know. That's all I used
All right.
during chemo.
All right, that's awesome. Those are some great tips. She went through 6 rounds of chemo each time she was in the hospital for 5 days. Then she would go home for 2 weeks. And so that lasted, how many months is that
It
altogether?
was only 4
Only
months.
4 months, the longest 4 months
It felt really
of
long,
her life.
but-
Oh, yeah, it felt long even to me.
But 4 months,
Yeah.
compared to what some other people go
Yeah.
through, is short.
So, almost immediately when Alyssa got home from her last round of chemo, I can remember having this conversation with her. She was like, okay, I need to know everything I can do to build back up my immunity. So we were researching and we were trying to find things that would help. And so now she's going to tell us all the things she used after chemo was over, kind of just to build back up her systems and her wellness and her immunity and all that. So
the doctor told me it would take about 1.5 years for my immune system to go back to normal.
Wow.
So even now, my blood counts are on the low side. And I am taking an antiviral medication because I'm more susceptible to certain viruses like shingles.
Huh.
That's the one they're really concerned about because... Have you had shingles?
No, my mom's had it.
I've had it before and no long-lasting effects.
Painful.
It's extremely painful,
Yeah.
but my doctor told me this wonderful story about a lady who lost her eye.
Oh my.
Because she had shingles in her eye.
Oh my.
So I was like, okay, let's not mess around.
Let's not get shingles.
So yeah. But anyway, this medicine doesn't like protect me from colds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what I added almost immediately was Ningxia Red, the super juice. Super fruit juice. Yeah.
Super juice, super fruit, whatever. It's
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, it's super.
And part of the reason I was so motivated is because my hair. Is I heard that it helps grow hair. And I was like, oh well, I need that juice. But that's kind of a superficial, silly reason. I mean,
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
You're female.
Well, thanks. Anyway, I read the research on this drink and was so impressed by the amount of antioxidants that are in it. And I don't have numbers or anything like that, but I know
It's like
that
more than 1,000 blueberries, more than pounds of carrots, more than like hundreds of strawberries. I don't remember exactly, but it's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. And so antioxidants, for those of you who don't know, are the things that fight free radicals, and free radicals are the things that lead to cancer. So of course I'm like, okay, I don't ever want to do that again, ever. Don't want to put my family through that. I need this in my life. So people will talk about their energy. Energy is such a hard thing to quantify.
It is.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Oh, is my energy better? I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I ran out of it, I don't know, weeks
Recently,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah, and I still don't have it yet. And I noticed the difference. I don't feel the get up and go that I had.
Yeah. You need to have some while you're at my house.
Well, thanks.
Get you a little drink
I
of
will.
Ningxia.
And I don't really like caffeine. I don't like the way it makes me feel.
Yeah.
I'm kind of someone
Makes
I think
you jittery.
It does make me jittery.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a fiery person, I think, anyway.
Yeah.
And so that just, I don't need that.
Yeah.
But the Ningxia is more, it feels more natural.
Yeah. And there's no
I like
caffeine
it
in it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Ningxia Red. I just think it's such a great thing to support overall wellness. And during this time when my body's more susceptible, I think it's just really, really important.
Yeah.
Cedarwood oil, I added that in, again, because it grows hair. But I really like it at night when I'm trying to go to sleep. I don't use it every night, but I kind of rotate it around. And I also use it when I'm homeschooling my son. I think it helps. It's grounding. It's got a grounding smell, and I really think it helps him to focus.
Yes.
Side note there. The next one is Progestins Plus, and this one
It's a work in progress.
It is a work in progress. So hopefully this isn't going into too much detail, but the chemo attacked my ovaries and shut them down, and so I'm kind of it's either a temporary or a permanent menopause. I don't know. The doctors, it's just that time will tell. There's no test.
They can't tell you
do.
for sure.
No.
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with wonderful hot flashes that I want to go away. And
To put it mildly.
Yeah, they're disruptive. I used to kind of chuckle at my grandma when she talked about hot flashes, but
Now you feel guilty for making fun. Yeah.
they're pretty terrible because it kind of feels like an anxiety attack because it's a chemical reaction going on in your body.
Yeah.
And that's just not cool. It's really not cool when there's a 2-year-old in the house because they're kind of, you gotta have a lot of patience. Obviously,
Yes.
with a 2-year-old. Anyway. So my hot flashes are definitely better, especially overnight. I'm not having to wake up, several times a night and change clothes because I'm so sweaty. And I've done something differently. I haven't even told you this yet, but I've started to use it during the day. And I'm feeling better.
Oh, good.
So, still a work in progress. Not perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking I just need more and I need it spread out rather than doing it all at once. I was doing like 6 to 8 drops all at night. But now.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And I'm about to run out. I should get my next bottle like within a week. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't I don't know. It'll be interesting to see when I don't have it.
Yeah, I don't ever run out of progestins either. And I haven't even been put in early menopause, but progestins changed my female life, and I have no PMS anymore. I have nothing. So that natural progesterone, so many of us need that. Our bodies just are lacking. So yeah, definitely good.
I'm not giving up. I think it's gonna happen. All right, the next one is rosemary, which I kind of feel like a chicken when I put it on. I smell like a chicken, like lemon and rosemary.
That's funny.
But it's helped a lot with inflammation. And I usually mix it in, not usually, usually mix it in with like lemongrass or eucalyptus, peppermint, so it's not so potent. Yeah. But it's also good for supporting the brain, and maybe you've heard of Chemo brain, and it's very real. It's gotten much better. I don't feel like I'm losing my words, as much.
Yeah.
So that's
brain
cool.
fog.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Lemongrass. I've been using that for months and months, and last night I had to look up why I was using it. I couldn't remember. I use it on my muscles constantly, my legs, my feet, my neck, shoulders, and it is very good for inflammation. And I've found a lot of help with that. And it's also good for neuropathy. So neuropathy I had in my feet and my hands. There was some numbness there and tingling, pain. I think it was pain from neuropathy. Honestly, it was kind of hard to tell what was hurting. It was just kind of different,
I'm sure.
Muscles, bones.
Yeah.
I don't know what part of my body. But anyway, I love lemongrass, and I think it was you that mentioned that it's so good for nerves, nervous system. So hitting that anxiety again. The next one started to use a lot right after chemo is lemon. I'd put, 2-3 drops in just a glass of water this big because I wanted to detox. I wanted to get the radiation from the scans
out
and the chemo, out of my body.
Yeah.
And I remember getting one of the PET scans I had. The guy was like, drink a lot of water, a lot of water to get this out. And I was like, okay. If he's telling me this, I need to get it out, and lemon is great for that. Okay, orange. Yeah, what's your favorite? What's talking about? I love how orange makes me feel. I love that it kind of wakes me up in the morning. I usually put it here, but sometimes I'll diffuse it as well. But it's also very calming and waking me up at the same time. I know it sounds kind of contradictory, but it's really, really good.
It's a great mood booster.
Yes. And I'm using this reference app. I don't remember what it's called. Personal reference guide or something like that.
Reference guide for essential oils or something.
Yeah. But I looked up orange, and like one of the first properties listed is anti-cancer. And I thought, okay, why is that? And so I looked at it again last night, and it's got D-limonene in it, which is another potent antioxidant. So
you're so smart.
Well, not really.
That's awesome.
I'm just
I didn't know
reading and repeating.
Yes.
But I was like, okay, well, that's all I'm glad that I love this so much. I'm glad it makes me feel happy because this is super, super important for our bodies.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Vetiver, this is kind of another stinky one.
Yeah, it's very strong and like woodsy, would you say?
Yeah.
Kind of like musky. but it's another great oil.
Yeah, and I've been using it for sleep, and sometimes I put it, or anxiety. I have a little blend in a roller bottle mixed in with lavender and peppermint and stuff like that. So it's subtle when it's in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really, really good for sleep. Deep Relief Roll-On. This is kind of, I've only had mine for maybe a month or two.
I've never tried it. I've heard it's awesome.
It is really good.
Yeah.
And I've had kind of some arthritis type pain, and specifically right here in my thumb wrist joint. And last night it was hurting, and I put the Deep Relief on, and it helped within 5 minutes. Wow. It was really fast and very effective. It smells a lot like, to me it smells similar to Panaway. It's got that kind of minty, eucalyptusy, whatever. And it's convenient because it's already diluted in a roller bottle. You just, you're done. Cool Azul. This is one I got free through the Essential
I've never
Rewards.
tried that one either.
Did you get it for the Essential?
I didn't.
Really?
I guess I didn't place a big enough order last month.
I could have brought
it was like a $75 oil for free.
Yeah, I was super excited. So I added that to my lemongrass rosemary mixture, and I put that on my muscles, which is great.
Yeah.
I was taking this has nothing to do with cancer, but before cancer, I was taking so many anti-inflammatory pills. But yeah, I don't anymore. I've been using the oils, and it helps.
That's
Someone
great.
is saying that they love vetiver. Hi, Bryn.
Hey, Bryn.
She thinks it smells like dirt and a good man.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, and the last one is I'm using sclerestance, which is again hormonal. It works on the estrogen part, and I use it kind of on my abdomen, and it smells kind of minty too. I think there's spearmint in that one.
Yeah, awesome.
So that's my plethora of oils that I've been using and products.
Yes. Good. So she shared what she used during chemo, then she shared what she's been doing after chemo, and then I asked her just briefly to share like any other lifestyle changes or things that she's doing to help her body get healthy again. So, real quick, I think we've been talking about. I don't even know.
We have. It's like
sorry.
Yeah.
I get on here.
I had
chatterbox.
I had coffee on the way here, and we talked about coffee.
It's good. It's
caffeine
all
making
good
me
stuff.
jittery.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the doctor told me that to get to get my energy back, I needed to exercise, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to stop feeling like crap.
Yeah.
So I was really anxious to get moving again, and I wanted to regain my strength and energy. So I started with walking, trying to walk 30 minutes a day. Then I started doing B-A-R-R-E workouts, which is kind of like Pilates, yoga type thing. And I just did it online, and I was barely able to do a 10-minute workout when I started, which was discouraging.
Yeah, she would be so frustrated.
But
you didn't give up.
I just felt so old. I was like, I seriously feel like I'm 20 years. I have a 20. Like I'm
You're
in
20
a
years
60,
older.
yeah, 60-year-old body.
Yeah.
But I kept doing it. I have to say that there were times when I did too much, and I would caution against that, because when you do too much, there were so many aches and pains that I had to stop exercising for days to recover. So that wasn't worth it.
Be gentle with yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, hi, Dad. Somebody let my dog out.
Now, so I ended chemo in February, so now I'm able to do classes at the gym. I do yoga, bar, I walk on the treadmill, do elliptical, I do a little swimming, do some weight training. I feel so much different, so much stronger. I don't get as sore. So.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, most of us know that exercise is good for our emotions and our emotional health, and it gives us all those good, happy hormones. What, endorphins?
Yes.
I usually don't know the scientific words. Sorry, y'all. Happy hormones is what I call them. But I recently, since January, I've been adding in like hand weights and strength training, and I just read the other day that studies are showing that strength training can be even more powerful for helping like with anxiety and depression. So
really
even more so than just exercise. So you want to do the cardio, yes, because it's good for your body, but then add in some of those hand weights because it's helping those emotions even more, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, get moving. Get
Yes.
moving, y'all.
Yes, and keep moving.
Yeah.
Because the arthritis type, like joint pain and stuff, it just gets worse if you're just sitting there.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
Yeah.
So that's my spiel on exercise.
Okay. What else? Anything else, or is that all you've got?
That's it for exercise. So diet, I did change. And by the way, I've been working with an integrative health doctor at the Cancer Institute who really helped, especially with diet. I had to really shift my perspective when it came to food. Before, I would think of food as something that, yeah, gave me energy, but also made me happy. I ate when I was stressed, when I was frustrated. If the kids were getting on my nerves, I ate. You know, so it was a treat. It was something that was fun. And I'm not saying there's not a place for that.
Yeah.
Food, I mean, even in the Bible, food is celebratory. They celebrated with feasts and stuff.
Yep.
But
the ice cream every night before bed because your kids stress you out.
I did that for
quit that.
I did that for 2 years.
Me too.
Like big bowls of ice cream. And I look at it now and I'm like, okay, there's nothing that's fighting disease in that. Nothing. It's
In fact,
pure.
it's making it grow, all that sugar.
Yeah, it's just pure pleasure. So now I think of food as medicine, and I think there is a book, right? Food is medicine or something like that. But when I'm eating, I ask myself, how is this food going to help my body function?
That's great.
Is it going to help me fight disease? So the main thing that I've had to add back into my diet is fruit and vegetables, especially vegetables. Vegetables were have been pretty absent from my diet, and therefore from my kids' diet and my husband for a long time. And I know better. I grew up in a very health-conscious home. Why? I don't know. I got so focused on protein, like eating lots of protein, a little bit of carbs, and that's all I was focused on. But the cruciferous vegetables like kale, spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, beets, those are so important. That's what's going to help your body to fight disease, not just cancer, but diabetes,
any disease,
any heart disease.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to eat. I pretty much succeed every day, an average of 7 to 8 servings of fruits and vegetables.
Awesome.
Per day.
Yeah.
And I could go on and on about this, but I just want to say, give you the easiest way that I found, and that's smoothies in the morning.
Me too.
I can get like 4 servings just in one meal.
Yeah. By the way, that's how I get my 12-year-old picky son to eat those fruits and veggies. Smoothies.
Really?
Nearly every day. I put a
That's
big old handful
really
of
good.
spinach in it.
Wow.
He drinks it.
That's impressive.
Yeah. But me too. I'm picky also, and I would never sit down and eat a big handful of spinach.
Yeah.
So I have
Not
it in my
unless
smoothie.
it's drowning in cheese sauce, which is totally,
Yeah. So,
it's not helping.
yes, go make a smoothie, everybody, as soon as we get off here.
That's all I have.
Awesome. Well, lots of good stuff, and I know lots of us are on a wellness journey. I've been on this wellness journey. You know, mine's been very up and down, but this year I've done more of the things you're talking about to get myself healthy as well. And all the oils that we talked about, you know, we heard an 85-year-old woman a few weeks ago who's been using Young Living oils for 25 years. She came and talked to our group. And she said some amazing things, but the one thing I remember her saying that really stuck out to me the most was, don't get stressed out about not having the perfect oil or the right oil, or you've got to go order a different oil, or you don't know. Maybe you feel like, I'm not knowledgeable enough to use essential oils. I've got to have all this science knowledge. She said, use the oils you have. Use them every day. use them all. They're so good for supporting every single system in our body. And they supported Alyssa through her chemo treatments. They're supporting my mental health. They're so good for immunity, just so many different things. Just pick up that bottle, take off the lid, start smelling it, rub it on your skin, however you like to use it. Get a diffuser, start diffusing it every day. And don't stress about it. I mean, there are so many things you can learn if, research is your thing. There's so much you can learn. And it's pretty fascinating to read about how God made all of it to work inside our bodies. It's pretty awesome. But at the same time, don't let that overwhelm you. Take baby steps. So a great way to take those baby steps and to get started with essential oils is to get the starter kit that Young Living has. And so we were just going to offer to you guys today, for the next 24 hours, if you want to sign up and be on our team, we want to send you our favorite oil, orange oil. And we want to give you that reference app that Alyssa mentioned. I use that app probably every day. I pull up whatever I'm struggling with and see what oils might be good for it. Or I might have an oil and I forgot why I ordered it. And I'm like, okay, what was this good for? And so I pull it up on my app and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's why I got that. So if you would like to join our team and the Oily Sisterhood and get started with essential oils, the best way to do that is with the starter kit. You get 11 of like the most used oils and you get a diffuser. Diffuser is the best way to get started with oils. So if you want to get started and join our team in the Oily Sisterhood that is led by Dr. Edie Wadsworth, we're going to leave our link in the comments. I may go back and put it in the top too. But if you want to join us in the next 24 hours, we're going to send you Orange and the reference app. So I really, really hope that something we have said has been a blessing. I hope that, maybe someone out there, you have a family member that's been struggling with cancer, they're in chemo, and they just need some support and encouragement. They need something for their nausea, or they need something, just to help.
It helps
their
family
emotions.
members too.
Yes, that's true. Family members use it for emotional support. Get a diffuser in their room. Get a diffuser in their house where they sleep. So anyway, we hope, it's truly our hope that something we've said will help one of you and that you can use some of these ideas for yourselves. We don't hope that any of you have to be on this cancer journey, but if you are in that place, then we hope that something that we have said will help and encourage you. So I hope that y'all have a great Sunday afternoon, and we will see you later. Bye. Maybe.